Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Eliel. In this incarnation, I am here today to talk about the energies of this next week, starting with June 30th until July 6th. So we are beginning a new month, and this week is of acceleration and a lot of movements. Could be, for many people, this will be linked with experiences in their material reality, but also inner movement, which of course they are connected. And I'm going to go in order. First of all, tomorrow, June 30th, we have Mercury in Leo starting its pre-retrograde shadow. This means that it's going to go through the mathematical decrees that is going to review later in its retrogradation. So conversations, decisions, ideas that are emerging until July 18th are going to review it later. What is related, in the case of Mercury in Leo, what is related with creative processes. For some people, it is about kids, children, the inner child, the experiences that our inner child went through, self-love, authenticity, and exposition, whether this is in social media or, a scenario, which is another way, a theater, that are very linked with Leo, hobbies that we really enjoy, callings of the heart, and possible romantic relationships. All of those things are related to Mercury in Leo. So you will just have to apply this to the experiences that you are going through. Right. On July 4th, we have this transit that is active from now. And it is very important because Venus is going to have an encounter with Uranus in Taurus in the degree 29. And this is the one of the lasts. We have one more conjunction the next year, and they are not going to have this encounter anymore in this sign. So it is given in a mathematical degree that involves an important integration, transformative lessons regarding to this sign and the house that they are occupying in our natal chart. So as many people know, Uranus, the contacts with Uranus could be very suppressive, radical, unexpected cuts, situations that are pushing us to the change. And with Uranus, many times we don't know how they are going to be exactly, but because this is the creative thing about the function of this planet, these sudden disruptions that present, they offer us the possibility to take them as signals, as synchronicities of what we need to upgrade, because this is an actualization of the software with Uranus. To generate new dynamics. In many cases, of course, this could be linked with very unexpected situations, but generally, this is going to move things that we knew that were stagnant. Many times we don't know how to change them, and we can see this transit as an opportunity, and other times it is because there were resistances. So there we receive the cosmic hit, the cosmic push. And we are talking about an activation that is part of the process of closure that Uranus still has in Taurus. Let's remember that we only will have, the entrance of Uranus in Gemini for a few months. And that's other reason why Uranus is going to be very, very active this whole week, the next week too. And when we talk about Venus, we are referring to the things that we value, how we are recognizing our value, the immaterial and material resources that we have, and of course, relationships. And when we talk about Taurus, this is what, the things that we associate with stability, with security, and we cannot leave aside the physical body because that, many times it expresses the changes that we need to generate. It is very common that the stagnant situations or the energy that we are not allowing to circulate, it is being shown in the physical body. So also technology, economy, movements of the earth, climatic changes, all of these things could be very, very active. It is going to be a strong aspect, not because of the aspect itself, because we have it every year, but because of the conditions. Uranus in the last days, in the degree 29, closures and new beginnings. Uranus is going to, continue very active, as I said a minute ago. But okay, I am going to talk about this transit, this new transit. We have until 2033 to talk about the passage of Uranus in Gemini, but I'm going to talk a little bit. Right, Venus moves out from Taurus and enters in Gemini that same day, on July 4th, and it is opening the way to Uranus because they are going to be still in orb of conjunction, even when Uranus does its entrance. So Venus in here wants to connect with people, with different paths, with other possibilities, generating associations that can be a bridge for other processes. There is curiosity and will of learning. I think that the important thing with Venus in Gemini, it is, to identify which things really deserve the time to, to cover that curiosity, which things that are linked with a functional curiosity, and which things no. I am saying this, which things not. Sorry, I'm saying this because the low energy of Gemini, it is the exchange of information, like that is not really contributing, talking about the lives of other people, or whatever thing that is more linked with gossiping. This is the low energy. But then we have information about the things that we are transiting and other people are transiting, that we can extract a lot of wisdom that serves for the path. So this is the thing that we need to regulate, not the curiosity, because there is infinite curiosity with Gemini, but to where we are directing that, with which intention. Also, this thing of opening too much possibilities or overthinking about them, being in the mind, and not doing nothing, not doing anything with that. It will be, or it could be, a phase where new ideas are emerging, and connections with people that help us to transit the changes that we are going through with Uranus. Also, other movement, very, very important, that occurs that same day. It is the first retrogradation of Neptune in Aries that goes until December 9th, and it is going to awaken in the degree 29 of Pisces. So this is the year of preparation for the great movement that is going to be established from 2026. We didn't see anything yet, because many of the entrants, the transpersonals are going to be definite the next year, and there, we begin the whole process for the next years that goes until 2030. 2030. So Neptune in Aries is implied with the dreams and ideals, in which perhaps we already gave the first steps. These paths that we have been opening, guided by our soul, but also Neptune is represents the aspects that are sustained in idealization, denial, self-deceit. Therefore, the retrogradation, it is going to be linked with reviewing all the things that we have been experimenting in the first half of this year, in the houses in which we have Neptune, the first degrees of Aries and the last degrees of Pisces. For many people, will be the same house. So this is about letting go of, getting rid of veils and fantasies, and to really move forward to what is possible. And I am not saying that, what the heart desires, it is not possible, but we have to evaluate the ways and the intentions. Again, it is not the same to wanting to create things because we really want to grow and we really want to contribute to other people, that wanting certain situations to save us from our inner state or our reality. And well, in short, Saturn, it is going to be a retrograde also. Therefore, we all have to approach this labor of reconnecting with the facts, with reality, regarding what we have transited, and taking the responsibility of rectifying, building, and making choices from our inner authority. If we didn't with certain areas of our lives. And Neptune, it is going to be very strong this week too, because of this reason, because it is stationary. So it is important to notice your states if you are feeling a little bit ungrounded. It is, I don't know if this is the expression. Um, Many times the energy of Neptune could dissolve the veils through the invisible and the visible, the terrestrial plane and the energetical plane. So we could be we could be feeling a little bit weird in certain situations, or with certain people, and those moments are for you to connect with your soul, with what your soul is trying to transmit. Well, as the last thing that I wanted to comment today, on July 6th, we have Venus in Gemini making sextiles with Neptune retrograde in Aries and Saturn in Aries. So many of the things that I've just explained, they are going to apply for topics linked with resources and relationships. So these are very, very nice aspects to open ourselves to these new possibilities. But I think that the key is, in the first place, that these possibilities have capacity of concretion, of being taken to the concrete action, not just a mental ideal only. And as other important condition, that we are not approaching decisions to run away from situations that we need to deal with to grow. I am saying this because we need to, approach all of these things in the context of Uranus entering in Gemini in contact with Venus. So one of the many possibilities of this transit could be the anxiety, because of the many things that the mind can be, focusing in, the worries or the indecision. So there is a big difference between detachment of a situation, because that cannot accompany cannot accompany me in this new phase, than detachment because I don't want to deal with this situation. And also could be, this could be happening vice versa. I mean, there could be relationships and projects that are representing this illusion and this idealization that are ways of running from ourselves too. So if you stay, or you go away from an space, it is important that this is happening because you are listening to yourselves, you are listening to that inner voice. So I am going to end this video here. Thank you everyone, and see you in the next one. Ciao ciao.